with our third fight of the night here at Caged Aggression 22. Making his way to the Caged Aggression octagon is Eric Leichty, 5'8", 145 pounds, fighting out of Mount Pleasant, Iowa.
One of the guys from the Skunk River Grappling Dojo. It's always exciting to watch these guys fight. I love watching all the Skunk River guys. They bring a lot to the cage, and you know they're always skilled and ready to fight. They're always in great shape. I'm excited to see this guy.
Yeah, he was saying that he was he's a younger fighter, of course, and his opponent has only had one victory, and that was in 20 seconds. So, you know, two guys are going to be coming in here pretty fresh and being able to hopefully be able to perform on this Caged Aggression stage, man. It doesn't really get too much bigger than this in the Midwest these days.
Yeah, it's exciting to watch these green guys come in here and give it a shot for their first time, you know, and you know, get to see how they deal with getting punched in the face hard and, you know, getting slammed hard and things like that.
Punched hard. Yeah.
You know, there's a big difference in these little 4-ounce gloves when somebody's throwing a punch with anger, you know, instead of, you know, a 16-ounce boxing glove while you're sparring.
Yeah, the distance, man. You know what I mean?
Try to get that right. My bad. Don't hurt me.
You the man, JD. You the man.
Promise. My bad. Don't hurt me.
You know, really what you says goes, so it doesn't matter. It could be Leichty or Leichty.
Okay, this kid's got heart, man. I like this kid. This is third time seeing him, huh?
Yep, making his way to the Caged Aggression octagon is Arturo Reyes, 5'6", 145 pounds, fighting out of Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, and Third Heaven Martial Arts.
What's the second heaven?
I'm not sure. They're on the third.
They skipped one?
Yeah. Well, first heaven is just what? It's normal heaven.
Yeah, God's heaven.
Second heaven. I've heard of seventh heaven.
Not that TV show.
I love that.
That was Jessica Biel, man.
Woo!
Man.
So I fell in love with her.
Man, for real. Still am. All right.
Back to the fight.
Let's focus. Got to get off my creep stuff right now.
Love the music he's jamming on the way to the cage. Gets me hyped.
Yeah, Arturo was a man of few words when I had a chance to talk to him before the fights. Said his camp was going good, and the hardest thing was managing his diet. How difficult is that to do early on in your career?
It's super difficult. I remember training for the WEC. I thought I knew everything, man. I was getting frozen dinners and eating them like, oh, these are low calorie, low sodium. Man, I didn't know what I was doing, man. And that was as a pro. That was in my highest level of being a pro, you know, and I was doing stuff like that. So I didn't really figure it out until I got with a real nutritionist and a meal prepping program and everything. Until I got with that, I didn't know what I was doing.
Ladies and gentlemen, our third bout of the evening is scheduled for three-minute rounds in the Caged Aggression Amateur Featherweight Division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He stands 5 feet 8 inches tall and weighed in at 145 pounds. He trains at the Skunk River Grappling Dojo. Joining us from Mount Pleasant, Iowa, Eric Leichty. And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighed in at 145 pounds. He trains at Third Heaven Martial Arts. Joining us from Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, Arturo Reyes.
Eric Leichty in the red corner, Arturo Reyes in the blue corner. Your referee for tonight's action is the boss, Bruce Allen. Jeremy J.D. Dorsey here on commentary along with Zach Mickelwright and Sean West. Let's watch some fights.
There we go, a little touch of the glove and they circle. Ooh, good 1-2 already from Leichty. Ooh, nice push kick there. These guys are getting after it already. A couple of good
nice
push kicks there by Leichty.
Nah.
Spin kick.
Good old action-packed amateur fighting, man. I feel like sometimes these guys become prima donnas and they think so highly of themselves that they don't throw these, you know, they don't do this right here, man. And these guys got to get out there and earn it, and that's what they're doing. I love it. I'm all for it. There you go.
Leichty's getting a little wild. He's got his hands to his hips when he's throwing combos. He needs to be careful about that.
Yeah. And I'd say for Reyes, he just needs to calm down and be a vet right now.
Yep. He's got the experience behind him, so he needs to just keep his hands up, maybe let Leichty gas himself out a little bit.
Definitely. He's being patient.
Yeah, telegraphing the heck out of that leg kick there.
If he would just plant and go forward when he throws that kick and just land a big right or a straight right, check that kick and return with the right, I think it'd work out well for him.
Leichty is throwing his punches pretty long. He's got good range.
He's being offensive, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think Reyes needs to really turn it up a little bit and start throwing his punches.
Oh,
Good body kick
good
by
Swiss
Reyes
kick,
there.
yeah. If he can get him when he goes right-handed like that, left hook, good left hook to contain him. Bang! I love it. I seen it coming. He did a great job. Nice left hook.
Oh, did a little damage too.
Yeah, now he's starting to open up a little bit, and this is what I was waiting to see here.
He's getting tired. Here it goes. Leichty, I like to see Leichty stay moving. You can see his mobility has diminished tremendously.
He's already
Those
slowing
hands
down.
are down.
And here goes Reyes. He's starting to.
This could be the first fight jitters here that we're seeing. Just a textbook first fight jitters happening here.
Man, and not even necessarily the first fight, man. My first boxing match, I just wasn't aware of what I was doing, and I was just throwing too many punches. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And when you're not aware, or you haven't been in that particular situation, then you just definitely don't know how to respond, and then you find out a lot about yourself, man. But maybe he'll dig deep, and he'll get his second win soon. There it goes.
I was just about to say that. You can get a second win here.
Big right.
Coming up on the end of this first round, scheduled for 3 between Eric Leichty and Arturo Reyes.
Oh, big overhand.
Big overhand round.
He needs to do that spinning back fist one more time. I like that. Good round. Great action-packed round.
Yeah, for
that
sure.
was fun.
Great
That was
stand-up. Leichty stayed really busy. Arturo Reyes, though, you could tell he's the more experienced guy in there, and he was, picking his shots. I think he was landing the better, sharper shots. But I mean, Leichty was very busy, throwing a lot of good kicks, flashy. But I don't know who I'd give that round to. What do you guys think?
I'm going to say Leichty just because he landed more. I'd say he landed more. I'd say Reyes landed one big punch, and that was that spinning back fist. I'd say Leichty just landed a few more. So maybe for output, he might have won that round, right, for as many punches and kicks he threw. He had 4 or 5 punches for every Arturo's left hook, So
yeah, for sure.
But as I looked over, though, Arturo, as he walked to the corner, he screamed, "Ah!" And I feel like maybe he's starting to get that killer instinct in him, and maybe he might be a late starter. We might be finding that out about him. He's a late starter, and he's ready to come out and let him fly. But
yeah, and
Leichty's got good corners in there, though, with Gabe over there, and
Gabe
Sonny.
He's a very experienced vet. Both these guys look good on their benches. They didn't look like they were too gassed. They weren't, hunchbacked or anything like that. So these guys are both ready to go in the second round.
Yep. Looks like Reyes' diet might not have been too bad, huh?
Right. There goes the spinning kicks again.
Oh,
Runs right into a big hard right from Reyes.
Oh, big
good
shot
left
by
hand.
Reyes.
That was a good right there.
See, Reyes he was on the back pedal a lot, man. Sometimes when you're doing too much defense, you're not worried about output. You need to be offensive as well.
Yep.
You got to make sure you're doing your thing, not their thing. It's your fight, always your fight.
Reyes' nose turned bright red, so he must have caught a shot and got that killer instinct ready.
Yeah, both guys sort of stepped back for a second after that.
That was a great flurry from Reyes, though.
Oh, big body.
You got to dig deep right here, man. This is where you find out about yourself, and this is, I think this is important for an amateur and their career, especially if they want to be a fighter. Having these exchanges and these wars are very important. There you go, big overhand. right now there's not too much technique that you can tell one of these guys to help them out. You know what I mean? And if they're going to
you just
throw,
gotta go.
yeah, there's nothing. They're probably not even listening at their corner at all.
Yeah, they're just throwing. They're out there throwing whatever they can.
And you know what? Sometimes in these amateur fights and in situations like this, you need to let them go out there and do their thing, man.
Yeah,
Because
let it hang loose.
Yes, learn. You know, figure it out. You know, this is why we do it, and this is why you're an amateur.
Looks like Leichty's kind of getting that mid-round gas tank empty there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pair of body
Looks
kicks
like he might be
exchanged there.
reserving a little
Yeah,
bit.
I was gonna say, JD, you're very good, because then here comes the explosion. You know, it's gonna come shortly. I think he'll wait for Arturo to. Oh, here we go. Let's see how he responds to this.
Finally,
Watch
we get
out for
to
the
see these
submissions.
guys on the ground.
Watch out for the submissions, man. You start throwing wild like that, you leave an arm out there, you post on an arm, someone turns into it. Just can get messy. Oh, create the space. Great job.
There you go. Yeah. That was
awesome.
awesome. I was just about to comment on him having his closed guard. You know, I'm big on that.
It takes a lot of strength to be able to pop up like that, too.
It really does, JD, because you have to have that explosion, man.
Right.
Eric Shelton has some of the best transition, just movement and explosion that I've ever come across, man.
Yeah, just a quick technical stand-up.
Just boom, you know what I mean? And if you don't train your core or anything like that, you won't have that. But sometimes it comes naturally. You know, Tori Bogus, you just have that natural explosion.
Yeah.
Coming up on the end of the second round here in this matchup between Eric Leichty and Arturo Reyes, scheduled for 3 rounds.
Good job, gentlemen.
Man, that was a great second round.
Yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
As far as giving it to the round to somebody, man, I'd probably have to say that Reyes kind of got the early flurry, landed the most punches,
With
and
the
that
takedown.
and that I feel like that probably gave him that round. So we could be looking at a 1-to-1 fight right here.
And there's a lot of times, too, that I noticed that Reyes seemed to just need to hit one more shot because it looked like he had Leichty off balance a few times.
Yeah, a couple good shots he landed, a couple good rights, and I know he hit a real good left on him.
He
And
threw more of a flurry, you know what I mean? He got offensive in that one. You know, he stayed away from just being defensive, and he got his punches off.
Yeah.
And that's what you got to do, man. Especially if your opponent is just launching them and throwing them at you, man. You have to have some sort of fight IQ fighters. For you guys, a little information. You have to think. This is a thinking man's sport. You have to understand what these judges are seeing, and if they're seeing you on defense, then you are losing the fight. So you have to be offensive.
You know, when you're reaching for something, you're not looking at it. Your chin is way up in the air. You're gonna get tagged with those shots. And Leichty took a few licks there at the beginning of that second round.
Yeah. I just love it. Get after it. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Not high maintenance. You know, not sitting back and not getting after it.
Here we go with the third and final round.
Let's go, boys. I feel like Arturo's his technique has gotten better throughout the fight.
Yeah.
Maybe
he needs to open up with his punches when he's throwing them kicks. So I think he can do more damage doing that because you see him, he's always opening up with kicks. Sometimes that can leave you open.
It can. You have to set him up. In Barb Honchek's and Junior's words, set those up.
Oh yeah. Heard that a couple times.
Yeah. Switching. Both of them are switching too from southpaw to right hand.
A lot of one shots right now.
Oh!
Huge!
Two
Overhand.
good rights.
Another one. Another one.
That was the overhandest overhand I've ever seen in my life. Oh my! That was a club.
He's got to set it up, man. That punch is it's a high percentage, man. You know what I mean? It works. You just have to set it up. You know.
Look, he's still dazed. If Reyes might be able to turn it on, he might be able to get a finish.
Return. Oh. Look at him. I love it. These guys are going. They got fight of the night in my books right now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm happy for them.
You know, the night is young, but man,
Oh,
these guys are definitely.
if he would just lean into it just a little bit, just front kick is nice. If he wants to go left front kick and then overhand right, you just have to set it up and cover that extra inch of distance.
It's a lot of single shots right now. I need to throw some.
Bang! There it is.
Told you. Good counter to the leg kick there.
Hey,
that was
Leichty,
perfect.
Leichty looked at him with the head shake, man. He's whipping the same thing back. He says, if it works for you, it might work for me.
Oh,
It looked like he might have been going spinning back fist. If Arturo could dig back in his bag and pull that spinning back fist in again. He can do it off the lead leg to spinning back fist.
yeah, big lack of combinations right now. I know that's because these guys are probably gassed.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a long fight, you know, even though it's only 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes.
Right, and both guys have
these
never
guys
went this
are-
long before.
Yeah, exactly.
There.
Oh, there, look at that. Set it up. Good counter there.
Way to dig in your toolbox.
A good hard fought fight like this, I mean, can feel like an eternity.
He's got to stop stopping after that right hand, man. Throw that right and then go left hook. Here it comes again. He's going to go body to overhand. One more time.
I see some fireworks.
Create the space. Here goes the overhand one more time. No? Great job, gentlemen.
What an excellent fight. That was.
What a fun fight, man. Fun fight.
Yeah, no injuries.
Yeah, no, you got to pick a winner. Who do you pick?
I got Reyes, man.
I think I do too. I think.
I got Reyes at 2 and 3.
Yeah, he was slow in the first round, but the second and third round he really picked it up, landed great shots. And, you know, I'm excited to see him again.
Yeah, and that third round was pretty convincing. So
He's learning, man, and what's cool is that we're getting to watch him grow in the cage, in the cage aggression cage, and you know that's to me, I love growth. So
Yeah,
to watch him grow and get better, and then, you know, especially because we've watched him lose. So hopefully he can come out, and nothing against Leichty, but you know, hopefully he can come out and get a victory after a loss. But you know, I'm not saying anything against Leichty. I wouldn't be mad if he won as well. You know, it's just, it feels good to come off of a loss and get that victory, especially after, you know, coming to this cage multiple times, losing, and you know, you really want it. So, a great fight by him. Great fight by both of them.
Both these fighters are definitely an asset to Mike Goodwin in the future of cage aggression.
Yeah.
that's one thing that Mike does is he's really able to comb through the gyms and find a lot of young and up-and-coming fighters. And both of these guys, I'm sure, are going to be around cage aggression for a long time in the future.
And you know what? A lot of times they search him out and try to find him and say, hey, I want to fight on your card, because he's got the best show in the Midwest.
He does. He really does. I mean, all the way down. I mean, when I say show, I don't just mean like, you know, cage and amount of people that show up. I mean simply as professionalism, the way he handpicks bouts, the way Mike goes out and scouts these fighters, visits them at their gym, makes sure they're training, stays in touch with coaches, then, you know, all the way to weigh-ins, feeding them, taking care of them, you know, so it's great. Great promotion.
Yeah, hats off to him. That was excellent.
Let's go, Jason. Let us know.
Ladies and gentlemen, we go to the judges' scorecard for our decision. All 3 judges scored this contest 30-27, declaring your winner by unanimous decision, Arturo Reyes.
So Arturo Reyes wins 30-27. You know, not exactly what we thought, but you know, we have to give it to him.
All right, so here we are with our winner, Arturo Reyes. Arturo, all the way down here from Wisconsin, got a huge, hard-fought victory over your opponent here, and I don't want to take anything away from him right now. Let's hear it for both these fighters first and foremost. What a great fight! Well, you and Eric came in here and did your best to wake up the crowd, and I want to talk about the fight a little bit with you. Both you guys came in, did a lot of trading all throughout the fight. Both of you landing some big, heavy shots. You in particular, I noticed you were landing a lot of hard shots there in the first round and the third round. How discouraging was it landing all those shots and not being able to put your opponent away?
I'd have to put more pressure, and I think that would have taken him out. Other than that, I think I did good.
There you go. And like I said, you looked really good out here today. Was it the game plan to kind of keep things standing, or were you wanting to mix it up a little bit more?
That was more of the game plan to keep it standing.
There you go. Well, again, very entertaining fight. Again, wanted to thank you for the performance, but I wanted to check with you. Was there anyone that you wanted to thank or anything that you wanted to mention before I let you get to the locker room?
I want to thank my family for all the support. My coaches. That's good.
He's thanking his family for their support and the coaches. Ladies and gentlemen, hard-fought victory, very emotional victory. Let's hear it one more time for your winner, Arturo Reyes, ladies and gentlemen.